This is the Conservative Desire, November 14th, 2016. Going to kick off this section of the Conservative Desire with a discussion, preliminary discussion of the Supreme Court, concentrating on what we know now about the process. And we don't know a lot yet, but we know one thing that we can discuss, and that is how this came to be, that we have a list of 21 people who have who Donald Trump has said, I'm going to pick one of these 21. And this is kind of important. And it's going to be a continuing theme about what's going on here to try to read the tea leaves of the Supreme Court nomination. And so what happened is that Donald Trump originally picked 11 people and that he put out there saying, this is the kind of people I want. And then he said that I'm going to pick one. He sort of implied he's going to pick one of the 11. About a month ago, he comes out with a second list, 10 more, that now it's up to 21, and he has pledged he will pick somebody from the 21. Now, this is the interesting part of this. The 11, the ones that were first brought out, were almost universally acceptable. They were strong, almost to a man. They were strong conservatives. Picking any one of them at that time would have been pretty good. But he comes out with another 10. Why? The first bland explanation of it is that the first 11 wasn't diverse enough. So in the second 10, he adds a couple more women, an Indian, and a black. So that's more diverse. That's kind of the acceptable explanation for what happened. It might be the proper explanation. I have my doubts. I believe that the second 10 might include the person who he really wants to pick. That there's somebody on that list. And the difference between the two lists are stark. The first list, almost all of them are pretty solid. On the second list, the majority of them look good, but have great unknowns. And that's the issue here. There's a possibility of a Trojan horse in that second list. Another David Souter who looks good, but is really a moderate in disguise. And I would say of that second 10, half of them fit this category of being unknown. Now, there were some good justices in the second 10, but there's something about why that bothers me. And we're going to go into much more detail about who they are, who our number one selection is, and we're going to list the unknowns, the knowns, and we're going to parse this thing out. We'll have several lists trying to predict what Donald Trump is going to do, and more importantly, what should he do, and when the pick comes out, we're going to know precisely or have a good idea as to whether or not we've been fooled or not, or probably it'll run something like this, whether or not we might have been fooled. That's probably as best we're going to get here. So there's going to be a lot more on this. We're going to concentrate on the Supreme Court. It is the most important issue of the Trump administration. This is the Conservative Czar. See you next time.